As business owners, we're always looking for massive improvements in our business. That one brilliant strategy or idea that is going to make all the difference, give us the breakthrough that we need. But what you soon come to realise is that there's no silver bullets or magic solutions in business. Now that's not to say that you can't or you won't find something that will make that massive difference. And that's the whole purpose of strategic thinking and planning, to implement changes that will make that difference. But often it's just about doing the small things right. So what if you could make a massive improvement to your business, but in a few very small increments? Well, I think you can, and today I want to take you through an exercise called the power of 1%. So here on the board we have a profit and loss scenario of a typical business. As you can see, we've got turnover of 10 mil, we've got COGS at 4 mil, fixed costs of 2.5 mil, and overheads the same. So we're left with a bottom line of $1 million. Now what happens when we increase by just 1%? If we take each of these areas and improve them by just 1%, what difference does it make? Well, firstly we need to realise that turnover is made up of volume and price. So let's increase both of those by 1%. Remembering of course that the price increases will flow straight through to the bottom line. So next is COGS and fixed costs. Let's improve by 1% there. And then finally a reduction in overheads of 1% as well. So that's 5 very small changes of 1% each. And what difference would that make to the final result? Well, it's right there on the board, a 25% increase in the bottom line. So you have a 1% change giving a 25% result. And I think that's pretty impressive. But what if we were to make changes that were larger than 1%? What about 2% or 3%? What would we need to do to double the bottom line? In this example, every 1% change across these 5 areas will give you a little over 25% improvement. So making overall changes of 4% would mean that the bottom line would double from 1 mil to 2 mil. Now of course business isn't quite that simple, and your business will be different to this one, and your results will vary because your margins are different. But it doesn't change the fact that very small changes can make a very big difference. So how do you go about it? Strategically and methodically. So go through each area, identify potential strategies, and then allocate responsibilities among your team. So start with price. How long since you've had a price review? Maybe it's time for a price increase. What is a reasonable number there? Maybe 2% or 3%. And little and often is the key for price increases. And then sales volume is something that most business owners are already focused on. But how can you get that additional increase? Should your sales targets increase? How can you do that without sacrificing margins? And then on the cost side, there's always something that you can do. So first up, conduct a cost review and allocate team members to perhaps specific line items. How do you drive the costs down? Analyse everything. Where is the wastage? What costs aren't necessary and can be cut? There's always costs above the line that can be rationalised. Maybe you can drive production or manufacturing costs down through efficiency or perhaps a lean program. And then what about negotiating with suppliers? Do some deals. Are there settlement discounts you can take advantage of? Always better to receive these than to give them. So there's a multitude of strategies that you can look at to drive improvements across these 5 areas. But it won't just happen. So take the time, stop and analyse your P&L. Then find the changes that will make the difference, implement them carefully and methodically, and then watch the bottom line improve.